Gandhiji was promoting the local entrepreneurship. Local entrepreneurship, right? Gandhiji was of the view of local entrepreneurship. Gandhiji wanted this theme to be inculcated in each and every political domain of India. So Gandhiji experimented with this thing. Even today, if you remember, in 2020 during the Corona pandemic, when the world trade was when the world trade had stopped, when there was problem in the supply chain, India was facing lots of problem in its manufacturing sector. Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked about the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar Bharata. What is this Atmanirbhar Bharata? Atmanirbhar Bharata is the same thing, that is the self-reliant India. That is the India that is self-sufficient in itself. The India that is engaged in small and cottage industries, medium industries. India that is self-sufficient in itself, right? So it talks about the self-sufficiency. It talks about the self-sufficiency, right? So that is the third experiment that was being done by the Gandhi. Let's get it on the next one. Experiment number 4. Gandhi's fourth experiment was the idea of especially the non-violence. The idea of the non-violence. Now, what is this idea of non-violence? As everyone know, non-violence, ahimsa. Ahimsa means not doing physical damage to anyone, right? Ahimsa tells us about not doing physical damage to anyone. But is it limited to just physical damage? The answer is no. Gandhian idea of non-violence is just not the limitation to the physical violence, but this non-violence means just you know just pushing away the or you can say it, Gandhian idea of non-violence is, it is not only talking about the physical damage, but it is also talking about the social damage, cultural damage, psychological damage, and also the individual, right? Individual damage means the damage to the self-respect of the person, right? So Gandhian idea of non-violence is not related with only the physical damage or the physical impact. So what Gandhi talked about is, if you want to resolve any of the issue, what you do is kindly resort to negotiation rather than physical attacks. Because when you attack physically a person, you are not damaging him physically, but also socially, mentally, culturally, that is the psychologically, right? So Gandhiji talked about the idea of non-violence, and he told that non-violence is the weapon of mightiest, right? Non-violence and truth are the weapons of mightiest. The weakest one always resort to the violence. So look how experiment with these things. The person, he knew very well that if you want to fight with the British regime, you cannot fight them with weapons, because they are much more powerful regarding the weapons. How can you defeat them? If you want to defeat them, first of all you need to do is, you need to make their hearts and mind change. And if you want to make their hearts and mind change, you need to opt the idea of non-violence, right? So these are the ways that Gandhiji tried to project in front of the things. Next important thing what Gandhiji did was, Gandhiji experimented, that the fifth experiment is the experiment of compassion and benevolence. Compassion and benevolence. What is the compassion and benevolence? Compassion and benevolence means Gandhiji never followed the idea of tit for tat. Gandhiji was of the view that an eye for an eye makes whole world, sorry, this is not working, whole world blind. An eye for an eye makes whole world blind. So Gandhiji was the idea, Gandhiji follows this idea. So what Gandhiji did was, Gandhiji was becoming compassionate to the individuals, to the every person living in the world. Either he is person of India, either he is person of different country, either he is person from different religious, social, economic, yeah, racial background. So we need to understand his compassion, his compassion covers equality or equally across religion religion, different caste, different caste, different race, different sex, and he accepted the compassion in the form of the diversity in India, right? Diversity of India. So we need to understand, he talked about the compassion by also promoting the, the closing down of the slaughterhouses. He also talked about the slaughterhouses, but not in a political manner how today things are being done, right? So that is also one of the experiment. Sixth experiment, you can talk about the simplicity. 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 Gandhiji experimented with the ideas of simplicity. Gandhiji was from a rich background. His father was Prime Minister of the Kautilya state in the Gujarat, right? So Gandhiji, it was not that Gandhiji could not have afford to wear three-piece suit. Gandhi, you might have seen the many viral pictures or photos of the Gandhiji wearing three-piece suit while serving as a legal professional in South Africa, right? But when Gandhiji entered into the political arena, especially in the Indian freedom struggle, what Gandhiji did was, Gandhiji took the attire of the poor people. The attire of the poor people give many messages, right? The very first message that Gandhiji did was, Gandhiji revealed what the first message, simplicity means minimalist approach. Just a minute. It's minimalist approach. Minimalist approach. What this minimalist approach means? Minimalist approach means Gandhi used to say that there is sufficient for everyone's need, but not greed. Gandhiji said there is sufficient for everyone's need, but not for greed. That means if you want to survive in this world, there is sufficient. But if you want to rejoice this world, if you want to enjoy the things at your disposal, if you don't want, or if you are not concerned about wage and means, you are going to suffer. So Gandhiji was an ardent, environmentalist. Gandhiji was against the ideas of consumerism, against the idea of consumerism propounded by the Western industrialization. By Western industrialization. So Gandhiji was of this view. In simplicity view, you can also say that, he was also against the excessive industrialization. He wanted, it's not like that he didn't have rich friends. He had a very good friends, the Tatas, the Birlas, right? The Oberois were the good friends of Gandhiji. But what it did was, he wanted these people to be just work on the idea of trusteeship. Means you develop an institution, you develop a business framework, but don't act like a capitalist person just exploiting the people. Trusteeship means a person is having the resources of different persons at his place, that is, he need to secure it. At the same time, he need to expand the resources for the benefit of the different people. So the Gandhian simplicity means the minimalist approach, the environmentalist, the sustainability, right? Sustainability, and this every aspect of this simplicity, it leads towards the, that is the conservation 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 of environment, conservation of environment, and sustainability. So Gandhiji experimented with these things. So most of these six things that were being experimented with the Gandhi, or experimented by the Gandhi. Now let's try to examine its relevance in today's world. How relevant are these ideas, or how can modern generation people can use these six ideas? Okay, so let's talk about them one by one. First lesson. Now those are the experiments. Now second part is the lessons. Lessons, or you can say its relevance. How can its relevance be drawn? The first experiment of Hindu-Muslim unity. How this Indo-Muslim unity can be relevant in today's period. Now we live in free India. We have our own constitution, right? That governs, that is called as a law of the land. It secures the rights of the individual, the rights of the minorities, and right to equality to each and every citizen of India. By forcing Hindu-Muslim unity, by promoting Hindu-Muslim unity, the peace and tranquility within the nation can be secured, right? The diversity of India can be secured, right? The united front can be developed against any internal or external problem that would arrive at any time in the future, right? So Gandhian idea of Hindu-Muslim unity, or the idea of communal harmony is very much more relevant in today's world. As you know, there are many cases of communal incidents going on throughout the country. The recent incident of Bahraich, communal incident of Bahraich in Uttar Pradesh, these things are disheartening. Gandhiji has already experimented with these all things. We need to learn the lessons what Gandhiji has given us. The first thing is the communal harmony, the use of moral and ethical values of religion in public life. By making the Hindu-Muslim unity, we can use the moral and ethical principles or values of the religion in every common man's life, right? Every common man's life. So this is the thing that we can do, or that is relevant in today's time, right? By forging the Hindu-Muslim unity, we can strengthen the socio-cultural unity plus secular fabric of India, right? So these are the facts that you need to understand. Second thing, as per Gandhi, or the second lesson that we learned by the Gandhian experiment, was the idea of, that is the non-violence, right? What teaches this idea of non-violence, or how non-violence is relevant to today's way? As you know, in today's world, we are sitting on weapons of mass destruction. There are lots of chemical weapons. There are different forms of war games are going on in the world. The recently concluded Hamas and Israel issue, the ongoing Russia and Ukraine war, right? The different forms of sectarian violence that are going on in going on in the world, are making Gandhi one of the most relevant ideology in today's period. Had Gandhi been alive in today's period, he would have brought the different varying factions on a table, helped them to get away from violence, and brought them in the negotiating way, right? So what you need to understand is he would have adopted the idea of non-violence. Non-violence here means, just we have learned that non-violence does not only means the physical violence, but it is also the psychological, social, moral and mental violence. So Gandhiji would have observed violence by using the idea of non-violence. He could have brought the different varying factions together, and he would have made in the world a peaceful place for living, a sane place for humanity, a place where the disadvantaged, the vulnerables, the women could have been brought or could have got the same equal moral rights, and this world could have been made an ideal state just like in heaven, right? So the second lesson, non-violence, is much more relevant in today's way. Third, let's talk about the political protest. Political protest by the ideas of non-cooperation, non-cooperation, civil disobedience, non-cooperation, civil disobedience, quit India. Quit India, quit India, not quit India was against the Britishers, but the ideas of quit India in today's period is relevant as if you are against the plans and policies of the government that is being operated by any political party. If Gandhiji would have been here, he would have adopted this idea of non-cooperation. He would have adopted the idea of civil disobedience against the regime by adopting the ideas like fasting, fasting, protesting, protesting to its optimum point, to its optimum point. That also in the most non-violent way. So Gandhiji's experiment of non-cooperation is much more relevant to today's period. As you know, the ongoing the protests by the farmers regarding the MSP, right? Regarding the MSP bills, uh, in today's period also they are sitting for a long period of time in the borders. Uh, just near Delhi, the farmers protest in 2020 during the your corona pandemic. So issues were there. Farmer adopted the Gandhian ideology of that period of time, right? Fourth one, how Gandhi is relevant. If you are concerned about the minimalist approach or the simplicity, it is still relevant in today's world. As you know, today we are facing the issues of materialism. The materialistic society is getting lots of problems, inventing lots of problems in today's world. Families are dividing, the nuclear family is challenging the society, the moral issues in the society is getting degraded day by day. By taking this idea of simplicity, we can conserve the societal features, we can conserve the ideas, the moral values. By taking the minimalist approach, we can also conserve the environment, we can tackle the problems associated with climate change, we can tackle the ideas of the ill impacts of the global warming, right? And we can also talk about the conservation of flora and fauna of the today's world. So minimalist approach is also one of the most important by using this simplicity. Fifth one, the Gandhian idea of the self-reliance. Self-reliance, it is most relevant in today's period. It is most relevant in the today's period. How the self-reliance is relevant in today's period? As you know, the economic shocks that we faced during the corona pandemic, that forced the government of India to adopt the policy of Atmanirbhar Bharat. That Atmanirbhar Bharat led the Atmanirbhar Bharat led India in manufacturing, the ideas of Make in India, right? Making India a manufacturing hub of the world. That means generating lots of jobs, generating lots of opportunities, making Indian people aware of the goods that can be produced by the Indian people in themselves, and rather than becoming an import-centric nation to becoming a export-centric nation, right? So Gandhian ideology of that is self-reliance, having the basic Swadesi, right? And that is by ruling in the world, by becoming an import-centric nation to the export-centric nation. So that is also thing, option number 5. And option number 6, that is a compassion. Compassion. Gandhian idea of compassion is much more relevant in today's period. If you see the wars, the displacement, the refugee problem in today's period, compassion is the most related in today's period. So Gandhi is most relevant during regarding this compassion. If Gandhiji would have been there, he would have provided the helping hand to the Rohingya issues, the issues of the sectarian violence going on in the West Asia, right, between Shias, Sunnis, the people, the displaced people because of the Russia-Ukraine war. Gandhiji would have helped these people. And if you know about the Nobel Prize winning group, that is the Doctors Without Brothers, Doctor Without Borders, right? So these are the organizations who adopted Gandhiji in different way, in Gandhiji by adopting the Gandhian as per his ideals and helping the world to make a better place for the living. So these are the things. In this way, Gandhi is the most relevant in today's world, right? Gandhiji is it's not confined to just India. He's a universal figure, right? As there are many persons who try to imitate or inculcate Gandhian principles during their own struggle. The person like African Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, right? The person that is the ongoing civil rights movement in America, the protest of Black Lives Matters, right? The Manipuri women, Iram Shamila, who protested against the APSPA Act in India, right? All of them use the Gandhian way of protesting. You might be knowing about the Aung San Suu Kyi, right? Aung San Suu Kyi of Myanmar. You might be knowing about the Kailash Satyarthi, the Nobel laureate. Every one of them adopted the Gandhian ideals to achieve their goals, to make this world a better place of living, rather than demeaning the wrongdoers, that to changing their hearts and bringing them in the self-esteem. They always make some of the ideals true, that is be the change, be the change, be the change you want in others. You want in others. Be the change you want in others. If you want to change the world, you need to change yourself. So, in this fast changing and ever changing world, in this fast paced ever changing world, when world is going towards the most tumultuous phase, Gandhi is most relevant in today's period. If you want to make the world a better place of living, you cannot underscore or you cannot underestimate the Gandhian principles. You need to be much more aware with the Gandhian principles, and they are the easiest. Gandhian principles are the easiest and sweetest ones, sweetest way and means of making this world a peaceful place for living, conserving humanity, promoting prosperity at a place that is living for all. Okay, so that is the class for today. We have talked about the relevance of Gandhi. So we need to understand that this topic is the most relevant in different sections of UPSC mains examination. One is the history, second is the essay paper, and third one is also the your paper GS paper number 4, right? It will help you a lot. I hope this class was beneficial for you. That much for today. Thank you everyone.